To care for oneself is noble, but when it eclipses all else, it ultimately loses its meaning. In today's world where personal growth and relationship advice flood our social media feeds, one advice rises above the rest. Love yourself first. We've all heard it before and we accept it openly. After all, who could argue? We could all use some self-love, couldn't we? It's a one-size-fits-all approach and it works for everyone. So because it's such excellent advice, we've all come to agree on one thing. Self-love is important. However, self-love is transformed. In modern relationships, the term self-love could be accurately described as never settling. It has gone from being about balance and self-respect to becoming the ultimate mic drop in modern relationships. Here's where it gets fun. People are using it as a shield to avoid accountability in relationships. Why are you giving me the silent treatment? I'm just protecting my peace. Have a problem with my behavior? Sorry, but I won't settle. Why didn't you bother to consult me before making such a big decision? I don't need anyone's permission to live my life. Self-love means doing what's best for me. Are you even trying anymore? If I have to try to make this relationship work, maybe it's not meant to be. The ones who need self-love ignore it, and the ones who don't abuse it. As a life coach who's been working with couples for more than 10 years, I've noticed an increase in such issues related to self-prioritization in relationships. More and more people are putting their needs over their partner in the relationship. Now, this is not necessarily a bad thing. Learning to take care of yourself is a good thing. After all, if you can't even take care of yourself, how do you expect to take care of the other person? But where do you draw the line? At what point do you decide that self-love is doing more harm than good? And that's the issue. Contrary to popular belief, most people are not narcissistic jerks who enjoy taking advantage of their partners. They don't want to hurt their partners. Their intentions are good and they generally care about the person they love, but they're confused. The idea of self-love has been misinterpreted. People are taught to value their independence, to avoid losing themselves in relationships, and to ensure their needs are met. These are great goals, but like everything else in the history of this earth, some people take it too far. They use it as their own personal weapon and take full advantage of it. They use it as a boundary to escape accountability, to justify their silence and escape uncomfortable situations. Self-love is often associated with comfort and ease. If I tell a bunch of people they need to start loving themselves more, they immediately think of hot chocolate and warm blankets. But this is completely wrong. More often than not, it's self-love that will put us in situations that hurts, like leaving a toxic partner that you're in love with, having the self-respect to not text your ex and tell them that you miss them. Self-love is about walking away from what you want the most so you can get what you deserve. Relationships by their nature require vulnerability. They require effort. And you have to confront difficult but necessary truths. And when your partner that you love starts to think that taking care of yourself means avoiding anything that feels uncomfortable, that's when it all goes wrong. The more you try to figure things out, the more annoyed and silent they will be. Partners with unhealed past traumas especially love the idea of self-love because it gives them an escape. It allows them to avoid difficult conversations that they don't have to confront their traumas. And they can easily withdraw from relationships when they want, or guilt-free, start swiping right again. It's a perfect excuse. And the worst part is, they think they're doing the right thing. They take the temporary feeling of ease and comfort that avoidance gives you as a sign of progress. But you don't love someone because it's easy. You love them when it's hard. But it's worth it. In relationships, running away from conflict is almost always never the answer. You have to run towards conflict. The answer lies in facing the problems, confronting difficult emotions, and being vulnerable with each other. The more you run away from your problems, the worse they tend to get. And that's what most people get wrong. You don't have to abandon yourself in order to make the relationship work. You don't have to sacrifice your personal self. You can have both, a loving relationship with your partner and yourself. It's not a sacrifice where you get to keep one child and let the other die. You can save both. At the end of the day, true self-love is not about abandoning self-care or sacrificing your well-being. It's about trusting yourself to navigate your relationship with courage and grace. Instead of using self-love as a mask to run away, use it as a reason to communicate. For example, say, I need a moment to process my feelings, but I want to come back to this conversation so we can work through it. Be honest about your mistakes and how they affect your partner. Apologize when needed and commit to growth. No amount of affirmations and self-care will make you respect yourself more than taking accountability. In relationships, discomfort is not a threat to your well-being. It's an opportunity to grow closer to your partner, to hold space for someone else's truth alongside your own, and deepen intimacy. When self-love is practiced with balance, it becomes a force for connection, not division. After all, when was the last time you saw someone build a deep, meaningful connection by running away from their needs of their partner? True self-love is not a castle with high walls. It's a bridge that supports and connects.